Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at BitcoinCash. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to check that out. It's going to be in the top right hand corner of your video. Watch that before watching this one so you have more context. Now, we did get a comment on the last video. So ANK says, "Hi, thanks for the video update. For your next video on Bitcoin Cash, perhaps you can share your thoughts on Bitcoin Cash potentially printing a death cross on the weekly, i.e. 20 EMA crosses to 55. And what's your thoughts on Bitcoin Cash potentially heading for a deeper correction after losing the first fib on the daily with a technical target to the 1.618? And would that also mean that it would lose the June/July bottom? Thank you and keep up the good work." Thank you for the comment. So we're going to take a look at the weekly chart, obviously, and we're going to set up the fib right now to the downside on the daily chart to see what she actually means. So we're going to have both fibs up just so we don't get confused. Actually, I'm just going to remove one and then I'll bring it back actually easily. So there we go. We have the fib to the downside, and you can see if I zoom out a little bit, you can see that we do have a target at the 1.618 at $171. Now, we are going to be in that technical target once we break through the first fib level over here and close below it, right? So then it's going to turn into a resistance level. But so far, you can see that what we've done here is we've been holding this level as support for a very, very long time, as you can see, and we've held it once again, right? And from here, as you can see, we are consolidating. We're hitting our head on this multi-month resistance line. We're just banging our head on this line, and once we get through that line, we're gonna, potentially break with authority, because usually once you break through these resistance levels, you tend to do that with force, right? So we potentially can even get above the 20, hold that as support, and start consolidating on the daily chart in between the EMAs. That would be very healthy, but at the least, I would like to see a break of resistance and back test of support. So yeah, and we're going to take a look at the weekly chart in a bit, but moving down to the 1.618 target. So if we start losing this swing low, obviously, which is the low that we have over here in February, we landed to that a price in June, then once again in July, and once again here in December. But we haven't lost this low, and we've landed on this multiple times because we've created this support area over here. So this area has a lot of demand and people are buying up this dip. That's why you see these wicks. So if we start losing the first fib level, we're going to be in a technical target to $171.7, right? And obviously, I wouldn't want that, and I'm not personally involved with Bitcoin Cash. I don't own any tokens, but people do like to see the updates. That's why I roll them out on the channel. I try to do them once a week. So yeah, if we start losing these levels, then you're in a technical target to the 1.618, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get to that target immediately, or it doesn't even mean that you're going to get to that target at all, right? You do have two support levels below that, the 1.272 and the 1.414. You can easily get held up by these support zones, and from there you can just bounce, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to fly all the way down here. If we start going for a deeper correction throughout all the crypto markets, then yes, this will be very much possible. But if we start breaking down from here, you can potentially see a wick to $278.50 if we have a quick flash crash. But other than that, we're holding this zone and we're not losing it. So right now, I wouldn't be worried about the 1.618 to the downside. So I think that's that's nothing to worry about for now, at least, right? Now let's hopefully I can bring back the large fib so I don't have to draw it once again. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's it for the daily chart. Let's jump into the RSI real quick over here. So we did have this horizontal, as you can see, resistance. We broke through it, and now we're above it, basically, but we've kind of even back tested it as support. So on the RSI, we're looking pretty good. As you can see, we're printing higher lows over here. As you can see now, if we zoom out and you look at the chart of the price action, then that really isn't the picture over here. So what we're having right now, as you can see, we're heading down on the price action, but on the RSI, we're heading towards the upside. So this is a bullish divergence, which is a good sign that we're going to start breaking out relatively soon. So if you're entering Bitcoin Cash for a quick little trade, then I would potentially look at the 20 EMA as your first sell order, 8% trade, then the 0.236 over here at 20%, and then the 55 EMA at 22%. So yeah, those are some of the numbers that you can potentially make in terms of, percentage. But if you're holding Bitcoin Cash for the long term, I think it will appreciate nicely. And, if you're holding for the next 4 or 5 years, no need to worry about the price action. Just buy the dips and you're good, basically. So we're still looking at $4,000 over here at the 1.618. I do think we're going to get there as the markets start appreciating towards the beginning of the next year. Now let's jump into the Binance chart real quick. So we are on the weekly chart over here, and if I remove all the drawings, you can see that the 20 EMA is, coming down for that potential bearish cross that A and K talked about in the comment section. So obviously, if we get a bearish cross on the weekly chart, that has, a lot more substance than a bearish cross on the daily chart. So the higher the time frame, the more substance the patterns have. But you can see right now what we're doing on the weekly chart is we're holding the 100 EMA as support, and we haven't really gone below that, which is very nice in my opinion. Ideally, you want to get back above the 55 and hold that as support and consolidate in between the EMAs, because if we get the bearish cross on the weekly chart, that wouldn't be the best thing ever, to be honest with you. And yeah, from there we can potentially be consolidating for a very long time. Even though the markets are going to start going up, Bitcoin Cash may not do that well. That is, that is something that can happen, obviously. So I wouldn't have a lot of money or most of my money in Bitcoin Cash. But as a nice side, project, it's a good project. I understand what the fundamentals are and why it's, why it needs to exist. But I think just because it's an OG project, then, it gets overlooked a lot of the times, in my opinion. So yeah, but we do have a potential of a bearish cross here, right? So I think sometime next week, in about 8-10 days, we might get that bearish cross on the weekly chart, and that's going to be the confirmation of the downtrend on the weekly chart. Because as you can see, you have a high, low, lower low. That will be your downtrend. But looking on the stochastic, as you can see, you are over here in the oversold, and you can stay in the oversold for quite a while. So here we stayed in the oversold for like 3 months almost, right? So you can potentially stay in the oversold right up until January and then have the move to the upside. So basically all of this right now is a good dollar cost averaging opportunity. And yeah, at times like these, if you believe in a project, you should be dollar cost averaging, right? Because if you're buying a project once it's, doing this, so why aren't you buying the project once it's, a lot more cheaper, right? That's the kind of logic that you should have. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about the charts or any questions regarding anything, leave them down below in the comment section. If I missed out anything on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section as well. Feel free to check me out on Twitter. We do have a Telegram chat and a Discord server as well. And we do have a Patreon. Check that out. Links are in the description. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.